And we're back. There's that voice again. Hopefully it's not on recording. Anyways, hello. We had a small error of a kind a few seconds ago. Everything went black and I crashed because my computer possibly overheated. That is, that's on me. That is completely on me. I might need to clean some dust out of it. That's fine. But so that's that. I don't know what is going to keep. I don't know if this is gonna. I don't even know if what we recorded is gonna be downloaded or not. So I'm just gonna be a quick summary of what happened and where we are. I did the introductions. I'm the Norax. I speak for the podcast. All that cool stuff. We only got into what we were playing this week. So Matthew was playing Minecraft and whatever. Devin also did a bit of Minecraft and mountains. Halfway up the mountain, they'll never see the view. The earth is a metaphorical mountain at a 45-degree angle. All of that cool stuff. Then we moved on to me regarding to what I was playing this week. I was talking about Smash Brothers and how it aggravates me, but now I have a new controller. It's all fine. Then I moved on to West of Loathing, which is where we currently are. So I've been playing West of Loathing, which is a RPG humor. It's a comedy RPG that's entirely black and white and stick figures. And it's actually a pretty competent RPG. So where was I? That's right. I was talking about classes. The classes you can pick from are Cowpuncher, Bean Slinger, and Snake Oiler. So, Cowpuncher is, well, he's basically a fighter. Bean Slinger is like a magic user, and then Snake Oiler is basically a ranged character. Like, you got people who are good with pistols, people good with magic, people good with fists. Yeah, but the writing game, very, very funny. And it's, that's the other thing. It's Western based, so it's like a Western of some description. And like, there's just so much really, really good, funny text. Just like basically every item has a description. All of it's very funny. What was I gonna talk? Yeah, my computer crashing completely threw me off. Where was I? Yes, the Cowpuncher's description for when you pick the class is that they get their Cowpunchers get their get things done with their fists, whether it be waving their fists at a disputable feller in a what's the word? Waving their fists at a feller in a saloon, or punching a less kind feller in a even less disreputable saloon or something. Is very good. As a snake, I picked Snake Oiler, by the way, my class selection. And as a Snake Oiler, you get a briefcase full of snakes. So that's fun. You get a briefcase full of snakes that you can extract snake venom and snake medicine out of. And if you extract snake medicine, it heals you, but it has a very funny description. Snake medicine that isn't the best. Funny about that, don't ask. Funny thing about that, don't ask, because it's literally snake oil. What what's like, there's just a ton of really weird random stuff. Like, the currency is meat. Just meat. It's nondescript, it's meat. There's meat mines. You mine meat in the world. So I went to a mine, and it's a mine that mines meat. So I found some unrefined meat ore and other stuff such like that.
That might as well be a thing.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know why my mind is terrible at things in general, but it just has a very, it's just a really funny game. It's hard to look at, like, a lot of the humor is basically written. There's not a lot of visual humor, there's a lot of written humor. So it's hard to convey that just through me talking about it. You know what I mean? Even repeating some of the written jokes is just not as funny.
Yeah, that happens with jokes.
Swig. But anyways, yeah, I really like it. I think it's really funny. You can get it just as like a, you know, for you two, I guess. You can get it basically anywhere. So you could get it on the Switch or a PC or a Steam or whatever you want to get it on. So play it at your leisure if you want. But yeah, the stupid walking specifically I want to talk about, because that is a visual gag, is that the first perk you can get in the game, you can turn it on and off in settings, is you read a book that teaches you how to walk really stupidly. So after you read it, your character walks around really stupidly. But like some of them aren't walks. You have like crawls, handstand walking, rolling around, skiing without any animation at all. It's really funny. Oh yeah, I actually will say, I think one of the funniest early on jokes is if you pick up a book about lock picking, after you read the book and get the skill. So all the skills are obtained, like a lot of the skills are obtained through books. And after you read it, the game gives you a humorous description of how the book is gotten rid of because you don't need it anymore. So for the stupid walking one, it's like you drop it and then step on it 50 times by accident. So you completely ruin the book. Trying to pick it up, you step on it like 50 times because of your stupid walking. The lock picking one is after you read it, you donate it to a local orphanage, and the description and the reason for it is soon enough those orphans will be able to break themselves out. Go orphans, go! It's really funny. God, I just love the writing in that game so much. It reminds me actually, the writing in West of Loathing actually kind of reminds me of like a lot of humorous writing you might find in like actually the Mario and Luigi RPG series. There's a lot of good humorous writing in that series as well. Specifically, Fawful, who is the villain in one of the games, is like so funny. His writing is so good. Like some of the stuff he says is just so random. Like Bowser talks to him and says, "You got beef with me?" And then Fawful says, "Beef? I am lacking in beef. Fawful is beefless." Just some real choice lines of dialogue. Oh, it's so good. You're muted, by the way, Devin.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna start cooking some more food.
That's fine. But I was just letting you know. But yeah, just saying, like West of Loathing is super funny and very, very good. I am enjoying my playthrough of it thus far. And I will probably have more to report on as the weeks go, because I'm going to continue to play that. Yes.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is actually a lot of fun. And there's, sorry, I just remembered something really funny. So the game is entirely black and white. And in the settings, one of the settings is colorblind mode. And the description is, you never know. In a black and white game, there's a colorblind option. It's really funny. It's just like, you never know. But that's one of my favorite, just like, that's just in the settings. It's just really funny. But yeah. Anyways, but yeah, that's what I've been playing this week. Have I done anything else? I don't think so. I think that's all I've been playing this week. Yeah, that's what I've been playing this week. I already said that because I like to repeat myself lots of times. But anyways, without out of the way, let's just move on to trailers, I suppose, unless anybody else has something to say.
No.
All right. We'll just our first and only trailer of the day because we only have one trailer of the day, is a teaser trailer for Far Cry 6.
My true Yarans, this is my promise. While these fake Yarans may spread chaos, confusion, and noise, I will be right here with you to defend Yara. We will sacrifice in the name of progress, and we will rebuild paradise.
Yes, and that is the teaser trailer for Far Cry 6. Now, obviously, that doesn't give you a lot of information about the game itself, and since neither of you know,
Especially that I don't like.
yes, neither of you know what Far Cry
Especially-
is, so it's especially bad for you.
Yeah,
Yes,
I know.
I'm
I know it's a
aware,
game
audience.
series.
No.
Yes, audience, I'm aware that there is actual gameplay. There's gameplay stuff about this. You know, I'm aware of that, but they're too long to put in this. So I just put the teaser trailer in as a whatever. I'm aware
would
that
cut-
there's what?
You could always cut through it. So you like play a little clip of it and then cut in a little bit, play a little clip of it.
I mean, yes, no. It also depends on certain things because my computer, as we've now seen, is just not the best. Thanks to it just, you know, basically committing seppuku right in front of me. I mean, it didn't actually die, but it just powered itself off. I didn't even get a blue screen. It literally just powered itself off. But yes. But yes, that was a teaser trailer for Far Cry 6. And like I said, I'm aware that there has been gameplay reveals because the teaser trailer is a couple days old. I'm aware that there's been gameplay reveals. I just chose not to show that because honestly, listen, I looked at it. It's the same thing that Far Cry has been for the past like years. I'm just saying, like, I honestly don't actually have a lot of care for Far Cry at this point. Because like Far Cry, there's also been a lot of Far Cry games. There was Far Cry once you get to Far Cry 4, that's basically where the series stops being like not enjoyable, but it's just kind of repetitive after that point. Because it's like Far Cry 4 kind of just had like every game after Far Cry 3, they try and have this weird, like the same kind of weird plot structure that game had. Like Far Cry 1, 2, and 3 were all vastly different games and experiences. But Far Cry 4 onward is basically just trying to be Far Cry 3 again. Like you have your open area, you have your weird main villain that talks in metaphors for some reason. And is like not all the way evil because you're supposed to kind of agree with him, but not really. And like there's multiple villains, but every villain after the first one is just not as good. I don't know. It's just kind of like also it doesn't help that the Far Cry series is just very like, so Far Cry 5 was it? Yeah. Sorry. After Far Cry 5, there were like, there's also like mini. Okay, so to explain something really quickly, Far Cry 3 had like a spin-off gameplay expansion called Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, which was like an 80s synthetic future that had dragons in it and weird 8-bit cutscenes and stuff. And it was really cool and funny and interesting for the time. But they kind of try and keep repeating that success story, but they don't. Like, there was another expansion that's kind of like a post-apocalyptic thing in Far Cry 4 or 5 that was also kind of neon and weird, but like not good. And it had to do with like two sister characters that just weren't interesting, and there's just no life to the gameplay at this point. Anyways, like I said, but yes, I watched some of the gameplay for Far Cry 6. I mean, listen, it's a first-person shooter in the Far Cry series. It's not going to be too different from everything else we've done thus far. I don't have a lot of hope for it. But specifically speaking,
So
you know,
Far Cry is it's a post-apocalypse series where you run around in a mech suit
no,
and shoot because you're a frozen soldier who's just reawakened after 100 years.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the plot of one of the games.
Oh, okay.
You know, because like Far Cry is a very strange series, but oh yeah, there was also Far Cry. What was it called? Unsurvival or something, Untamed or something, where it was like about cavemen. It was like
Oh,
a Far
okay,
Cry
never mind.
game about cavemen and stuff, but it was just kind of the same. Like Far Cry is basically Ubisoft's like it. Far Cry is the series that spawned the joke about towers in open world games, because you have to go find towers and climb them to view your surroundings and get and like increase the map size. But like that doesn't change. But like that kind of makes sense in like Far Cry 3 at the very least, because it's like it's basically like an island that you are alone on with like camps of bad guys, and it's like just an island, so you're trying to figure out where you are. But after like cavemen in the caveman one, when you climb to the top of it, like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Also, the plot of that game was basically saber-toothed tiger killed your original clan and then you're out for revenge on it. But after you kill it, the game doesn't end. There's just more stuff. And like, it's also like Far Cry after 3 is basically the example of lazy open world games, where it's just like, here's everything you can do, story missions, whatever. And then it's just like, you do the story missions and then nothing seems or feels like it changes. Because it's just, because, you know, it can't change. Because if it changed, that means you can't play the game anymore in its open world setting. Yeah. I think
extra big open worlds with lots of extra space you have to run through.
Yeah, that's also not helping. Considering as technology is getting more advanced, their open worlds are just gonna keep getting bigger because these freaking publishers never goddamn learn a thing. Yes, Far Cry 6, newest game in the Far Cry series. It looks to be about it's another dictator of some kind. It's literally just the same plot with different characters again. Like the plot of Far Cry 4 was like you go to the mountains to like bury your like dead grandma or something, with like you like spread her ashes over the mountain or something, and then you get involved in like this drug war essentially against this guy who, I will say one cool thing about the game is that you can literally end the game in the first opening cutscene by just talking to the guy. And it's like, you explain your situation, he just lets you go, you dump your grandma's ashes, and then the game ends. That is actually really cool. I will say that. But it's kind of weird that after that, that's one ending of the game. But the other ending of the game is like drug war, and you're trying to pick between two sides, but it doesn't really matter. And there's a lot of like, it goes for like weird hallucination sequences like Far Cry 3, but not as well as that game did. And even then, Far Cry 3 kind of jumped the shark on its ending. So, yeah. What was the other? Primal. That's what it calls. Far Cry Primal. That was the caveman one. Then Far Cry 5 was about the American South. I don't even remember, like, it was set in America. I actually genuinely don't remember what the plot of that game was. I'm not sure. Take that as you will. Maybe it's because I actually didn't know that much about it, or it's because it was very much not memorable. It's probably the second one, since I do remember hearing about the plot at some point, but I don't remember what it was. And then there was a post-apocalyptic like mini game that was like an expansion to Far Cry 5. where it was like post-apocalyptic and neon, but not neon, like not neon, but like what's it called? The bright colors kind of thing. Not neon, because it was like punk. That's what it was. It was like punk styled. And it was, the villains were two sisters that ultimately were just very aggravated teenagers, or at least that's how they acted. Sorry, I'm probably very boring because I'm just explaining Far Cry at this point. But anyways, Far Cry 6, it looks to be about a dictator of some kind who wants, I mean, at least it's set in an interesting location, I guess. You know, it's like whatever it's called. What?
I said that's cool.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called. Sorry, I don't know what's going on in my mind today, but like I don't remember what the area it's set in is called, but it's like over there in the, like it's like southeastern kind of thing, like whatever it's called. God damn it! Why can't I remember what it's called? It's not Albania, brain. Shut up. It's
Europe?
not Albania. It's not. Why does my brain want to say Albania?
Where on the world is it?
It's like
In a country.
it's southeastern, so it's like that.
Southeastern of what?
Fucking everything. God damn it! What is it called? I almost had it.
East Asia?
No. Well,
Australia?
yeah, East Asia. So like that, the lower half of like that continent structure. So it's like all of those countries. Why can't Dubai? That's what it's fucking called. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's awful.
Dubai. Jesus Christ. It's all my brain was trying to remember, and I couldn't think of it. Anyways, I don't think it's set in Dubai specifically, but that part of the world.
Okay.
Thank you, Brian, for not remembering a goddamn name. I love it when that happens. Anyways, where was I? Far Cry 6. Listen, I'm just gonna make my peace about this. I don't actually think it's probably gonna be an enjoyable gameplay experience, but story-wise, it's probably just gonna be the same stuff they've done for the past several games. It's, you know, it's probably gonna, it's probably just gonna be your average open world experience that you play through and then don't do everything in it, forget about it, and drop it. Because that's kind of what Far Cry is at this point.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, now that I've had my aggravation over remembering something, geez. Anyways, moving on, unless either of you have anything to say about Far Cry in general, which you probably don't. Jeez. I was much more.
My parents are roughhousing in the.
Yeah. It sounds like a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real hullabaloo.
Hullabaloo. A great big hullabaloo. It's the roaring 50. It's the roaring 40s. A great big hullabaloo.
I can't believe people actually use words like that. Like
I
in
love
real
it.
life.
That's a
living
great
memory.
word. Hullabaloo.
Oh.
That's a great word. It's kind of like what's the term? Like oh god damn it. I just need to not think apparently because my brain is just terrible. But I'm thinking like words that like just fall out of fashion, you know? Like like names for drugs, for instance, you know. Mary Jane. For instance, you know, just things that fall out of fashion that were used to fake 50 years ago. Words and stuff, you know. Hell, you know, like the word gay losing its original meaning and turning into what it is now.
Yeah. Or turning into what it was a little bit, not that long ago, and then to what it is now.
Yeah. And also, like,
That's weird.
during a period in the 2000s used as like an insult for some reason.
Yeah, I
That
know.
was a bit of a weird time when people just called things gay. Like, remember that time? I remember that time. It was a weird time.
I always thought it was really weird.
It's a very strange thing. It's a
God.
very, it's a
Little
very
obnoxious.
strange time. You remember when the word epic was used like not weird, not over the before everything was epic, everything was extreme. Extreme. That's a word that hasn't seen the light of day in a long time, I bet. Extreme was a 80s phenomenon word. And then epic was like a 90s thing. 90s to 2000, since the 90s didn't die for a while. Anyways,
Radical. We really need to bring back
radical. Oh my god.
radical.
Radical, dude.
Radical, dude.
Radical is definitely a 90s term.
Oh yeah.
Radical is
that.
definitely 90s.
We got this radical hullabaloo going on.
Or what's the I had a word in my head, but like, radical, yeah, just stuff like that. Like we had this total gnarly is another good one. This totally gnarly. I had just anything that's like skate terms, like that's a lot of 90s. Like anything that's like a weird skater term is definitely 90s. You drop in on a grommet? That isn't a real thing. That's just a thing. Ollie on the half pipe, gnarly Ollie on the half pipe, dude. I don't know. I think all our viewers have left us. I think that's probably the case at this point. Anyways, moving past that, whatever that was, I don't even know how we got on that. Yes, moving past that, the news. That's what we're doing, the news. No, we're not doing the news. We're doing host topics. The hell am I talking about? Matthew, you don't have a host topic. Tell me you don't have a host topic.
I don't have host topic.
Good, moving on. Did you actually have one, or?
I don't.
Okay, good. Moving on. Devin, do you have a host topic? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Oh, wait, you do? That's a surprise.
Yeah,
You have a host topic.
I do actually.
Well, that's fantabuloso.
So I'm actually curious what your thoughts are, both of you, what your thoughts are on the role of fast travel in games. Because I believe Matt Colville made a video about this for fast travel in role-playing games. But then in video games, it's not the same thing as a role-playing game. It's you're sitting there and you're actively playing. And so if you're actively playing is just you walking from one place to another, you could just shorten the time. Or you could shorten the space. You could make it so the two towns are far closer than they realistically should be, so that it's more fun.
Yeah. I mean,
or you could add more stuff in between them.
I mean, fast travel has been a kind of standard mechanic ever since the prevalence of like really big open worlds, I guess. I mean, there are definitely some games that don't have fast travel. But and there are some games that like limit their fast travel to like, you have to go here to do it. So you're not like constantly skipping over the world. And I'm sure that could be slightly annoying for some people, but
just to let you know, my thoughts on fast travel, at least right now, is that I believe using it as a tool makes your worlds worse. In most cases, because you don't put as much effort into your world being interesting to be in, because there's a good chance people will just skip it.
I mean, that's completely fair. I completely understand that. For me personally, it just kind of like in terms of D&D worlds, it comes down to a practice of I don't know realistically how long it would take to get to point A to point B. So I don't know how long to spend on it. You know what I mean?
I'm talking about D&D, because in D&D it's completely different.
Well, in terms of game design, it also kind of comes down to, like, you know, fast traveling through a world that, you know, it, like, fast traveling is the biggest, like, takes you out of the experience.
Yeah, like imagine you were playing Wind Waker. Is Jorah Wind Waker, what's that?
Wind Waker, the one you played. Wind Waker.
Yeah. Imagine you could fast travel to different towns. It would get rid of the whole idea of you sailing. It gets rid of that immersion.
Yes, you're correct.
Same time, but it gets rid of that immersion.
The thing about Wind Waker is it actually, so one thing I will say about Wind Waker is that, and a lot of people complain about this, and it's a valid complaint, sailing is kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like, that's also why, like, in the remaster they did for the Wii U, which I showed you some of, like, basically the only thing they changed was the bloom, because graphically that game hasn't aged a day. One of the things they added was a fast sail, or basically, and they didn't give it to you for free, you had to win it in the auction. So basically it doubled the speed you would go at, and it automatically made the wind go in the direction you wanted. So you didn't have to constantly do the Wind Waker to change the wind direction. And that's fine. You know, that was a fine addition. I don't personally have anything against it. You know, I get it. I get not wanting to, God, it's the second thing I've almost knocked over. I get not wanting to spend so long sailing everywhere.
No, that feels like giving the character a horse.
Yeah. But the other thing I want to say is that in Wind Waker, at some point, so you remember, you might not remember, but during one of when you get the Wind Waker for the first time and you learn the Ballad of the Wind Gods, the frog on a cloud tells you, hey, go, if you see my brother out in the seas, go, like, knock some sense into him. And he says that because, you know, it's a story thing, but, like, if you actually meet him, he, like, controls cyclones. So if you meet him and actually knock some sense into him, he'll come down and teach you the you know, melody, like the cyclone melody, which is the thing that broke on the stone on that he was angry about. And that allows you to use cyclones to warp around the world. However, it is limited to certain locations on the map. So you still have to do there's still a lot of sailing, and it is a element in game that you actually have to work to get. And you know,
and it doesn't get rid of you still exploring the world.
No, it doesn't. Not at all. Like, there is still plenty of time to naturally explore the world at your own leisure and find all of the weirdness that is in it. Because, you know,
because it doesn't get you to the place you want to go. It gets you to a place nearer to the place you want to go.
Yes,
so you still have to get there. And then if you decide to take it out.
Yeah, there one island in particular, Windfall Island, which is basically kind of like a hub of, like, it's not the hub of the game, but it's kind of like a hub island where a lot of stuff happens. You can warp directly to that island. However, the majority of the game is still sailing around to different locations.
Yeah.
Which I get why some people would find that boring.
No,
personally, I've played through the game a couple of times. It does get tiring sailing to places. It's nice to have the ability to warp to closer to where you are, especially if you're going for map completion. But
especially a game designed like that. But, like, imagine you were making a game like that new Zelda game, that Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, yeah.
Imagine if Breath of the Wild had warps to each of the towns.
I mean,
and each of the dungeons.
It technically does.
And you can earn them.
Well, here's the thing. basically every one of the major cities and basically every stable has a trial dungeon next to it or in the town itself.
Wait,
So you
can work the dungeons?
Yeah.
I forgot how travel-y you can get in that game.
By the way, like I don't use the warp function that much.
Yeah, because you can only do it in areas you've already been to.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. And like there's still so much of the world I have explored on foot or am still going to, because I haven't finished the game yet. I've still technically only done one ancient beast. So there's that. But we'll just ignore that.
Max beat the whole game in his first hour.
Yeah. I mean, you
Somehow.
could completely fast. It's completely possible. I mean, you can beat the game as fast as you're willing to, as long as you're confident in not dying to the guardians. Because basically the only thing stopping you from getting to Ganon's castle is the glider, and that's it. Hold on a second.
Wow.
Cat. Come here.
That's a thought.
Cat. If you don't want to come in here, then stop meowing at my door. You coming in here? You're taking your sweet time, aren't you? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yes, I had a cat attention issue.
Ah, yes.
Yes. Games with fast travel in them have to be careful, especially big games, if you want your player to actually care about your world.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to Breath of the Wild, most of that game is going to be you on foot. At least for me, it was. Like even when I had a horse, I only really used it to get to places. Like if I didn't want to explore, I would just use a horse. But I've explored most of that game's world on foot.
What about quest markers?
Well, in Breath of the Wild specifically, you basically set your own quest markers, and there's only a couple that are like on your map forever, which are like the 4 beasts, but even then you'd have to set that on your map, and then like very specific locations.
Yeah.
Basically everything else is just you discover it.
What about games that don't do it as well, like Pokemon, where you need to go here now? Oh, now you need to go there now.
Oh, you mean Pokemon Sun and Moon, where literally the entire map is just a straight line in a curvy fashion? Listen, I like Sun and Moon quite a lot, but you can't disagree with the fact that the islands are literally just straight paths that you follow.
Yeah.
Like there is no detour at all on those things.
Yep. Which was
Like in the original Pokemon Red and Blue, you could technically do the first 3 gyms in any order you wanted. The first 3 gyms, you can basically do them in any order you want.
I don't think you can do the first gym. I mean, the second gym.
What?
I don't think you can do the second gym before you do the first gym.
You can.
How?
You just go there.
How?
There's paths there.
I feel like there's a dude stops you.
Which dude?
You think the guy who gives you running shoes?
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Yeah. You can get to Pewter, Viridian, and what's the third city?
Huh.
Third city is what's his
Cerulean.
face? Virillion. Yeah, you can get to either of all 3 of those cities, like but so you can fight Brock, Misty, and Surge was his name. You can fight Brock, Misty, and Surge in any order you want. After that, it's mostly a linear order, but it's still some interesting stuff is happening. Matthew's gone blurry and Devin is gone. Yes. Yeah, you can fight the first 3 gym leaders in any order you want, which is interesting. You can also actually you can miss some of the encounters with Gary as well, or Blue, I guess technically.
That's
You
true.
can miss some of the encounters with him. So there is like,
Do you know the craziest thing about those old games?
what?
You can actually lose battles
Really?
against random trainers,
Uh-huh.
and you don't get healed every 5 seconds
Yeah.
or ever.
Well, I will agree that as the series has gone on, it has gotten a little easier, but that also comes from a fact of like Pokemon Evolve, the series has not.
Hey, Norax, you may not know this. That was a very clever wording. You may not know this, but you can't disable the experience share in the most recent game.
Wait, really? That
Really?
seems odd. Sun and Moon gave you the experience share like instantaneously in the game, which I was kind of fine with, but
You know what?
to be fair, I mostly would go for it.
When asked about this change, the developer said, "Oh, right, we did that." And they said, "Okay, so what if I only want to level up one Pokemon?" And they said, "Oh, we'll just have that one Pokemon be the Pokemon in your party."
I mean, that's one way to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, if you do, this is just another dumb thing with the leveling and power scaling. Too easy to game in this game.
I mean,
If
yeah.
you do Dynamax battles, you'll get XP candy.
Yeah.
And you can just give those to your Pokemon.
I mean, like, in Sun and Moon, or Sun specifically, I basically just use the XP share to level up large groups of Pokemon at the same time, because I'm an insane person and my goal was to level up every Pokemon I had. So because like you get your party full of level 1s and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna fight these things until all of them are evolved, and that I did that. So because I was getting one of each Pokemon and leveling it up to its evolved state, and then I vaguely wanted to level all of them to 100 because I'm insane. But that's what I used the XP share for. I did accidentally level up my other Pokemon, my actual team, like a little too much. So I was a couple levels higher than some of the Elite Four. It was just a little bit. just a couple levels higher. Just by accident, But that kind of shows how easy it is to level up in the game. I accidentally got higher levels than the Elite Four just by playing the game, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you? The power level in gaming. Where were we? Sorry, I don't know where to. It's not that it, but gonna take a drink of water because my brain is on fire. Don't know what's going on today. What did you say?
Do you remember? I'm asking Matthew if he remembers where we were.
Oh, well, we were on your host topic, which was like fast traveling, but we also started discussing Pokemon and its intricacies. I was also gonna, when you mentioned like, what the difference between, what the original games have, I was like, unbalancing issues, because they do have balancing issues. Yes. Yeah, the original, like, I will wholeheartedly agree that, like, as far as the meta is concerned, the games have gotten better. Balancing issues, the meta, making things not as overpowered as they probably could have been if they had kept the same system. That doesn't mean the games have actually become different, though. I mean, you play one Pokemon game, you basically play all of them. I will give credit to Sun and Moon for making a story I actually vaguely cared about. I know, it's crazy.
Wow.
Specifically, what was her name? I can't remember her name. To be fair, I can't
Tunisia?
remember.
Lusamine?
Not Lusamine, her daughter. Why can't I remember her name? She's literally the
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
Lily?
Lucy.
No, it's
Lily.
Lily. That's right.
It's Lily. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I got like, she's one of the more interesting characters, and like, I I don't know what they were setting up between Lily and the player character, but like, it kind of felt like there was some romantic tension at some point. I was like, are they really going down this route? Are they really going to do this? Because like, you go to that abandoned island and you sit in a cave with her in the rain. Remember that?
Yeah.
Completely forgot
like-
about that.
She's talking about why she's inspired by you. It's like, is there some like romantic tension in the air here? What's going on? I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny. Yes, I actually liked Lily as a character, which is impressive considering Pokemon never has character. Hold on a second.
Gary had character.
His character was smell you later. That's what
Ash
his
has
character
characters.
was.
Ash has various characters.
Oh my goodness! Don't even get me started on Ash.
That's good reasoning. That's a good way of putting it. Various
Brock
characters.
has a character trait.
Women. That's Brock's character trait. Brock's character trait of the original Pokemon party was the adult and women. That's it. That's it. Man, I can't wait for them to do the joke about Brock fangirling over a woman and then getting punched in the dick by a Pokemon. I love that joke. Let's do that joke 1,000,000 times. How about every episode we have Team Rocket show up and repeat their anthem over and over and over again until it's ingrained in your brain, and then you just want to kill them every time you see them because of how ungodly annoying their stupid anthem is.
I disagree.
I have a bit of pent-up frustration about the Team Rocket anthem because
Right,
they literally
no.
say it like every episode. It's not even a joke. They literally say it every episode.
No.
No, yeah, that's true.
Otherwise, you'd forget.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
I just...
Hmm.
I know it changes.
It's just like I'd forget another anime where
I
they
can't actually
say
remember
the
it, by the way.
opening title.
It's like Double Trouble, Bubble and Boil.
Protect the world from devastation.
Yes.
Do unital one's
Within our nation.
To protect the protect the freedoms of truth and love, to extend our reach to the stars above. Jesse James. Team Rocket is blasting off at the speed of light. Right. Back down now, prepare to a fight. Meow, that's right. See? I told you. It's ingrained in my brain.
I would not have remembered that.
Yeah, that's the problem. Not with me. Sorry. Sorry. I very much, like, as a child, when I watched Pokemon, it genuinely frustrated me watching them appear each episode because I just got so sick of them. No, don't, like, every time Team Rocket didn't show up for an episode, I was so happy. I was so happy that they didn't show up and make the plot stop in its tracks again.
I agree with that.
Pokemon already has massive pacing issues. I don't need a roadblock that appears each episode just to steal Pikachu for no reason. Jeez, I probably sound like an insane person. What was I gonna say? I had something, I was gonna mention Butch and Cassidy for some reason. I don't know why. Nobody probably remembers who they are.
Oh, cowboys. Or rustlers, right?
I thought you wanted permission to use it.
Yes. No, Butch and Cassidy are the other Team Rocket members that are like rivals to Jesse and James, but they're actually good at their job. And the joke is that every time somebody says Butch's name, they say it wrong.
Oh yeah, I remember. who
It's
Butch-
Biff. It's not Biff. It's Butch. That's his Butch's voice in the show. It's not a lie. That's just what it sounds like. Anyways. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Every
it was
time
funny.
what?
But it was very funny.
Funny the first time. The other 100 times was not funny. Also, I don't know why every time I bring up the Pokemon anime, I just think about Ash's defeat in the Sinnoh League against that guy who has like a team of legendaries, and I'm always angered by it. I will never forget that. I will never forget it because it's so stupid. Matthew, what are you doing? Why are you here?
I'm getting some food.
Okay, do you have to creep on the camera then?
I just wanted to say something.
Just but yes.
I just think when
Do this.
when
You have to do this.
no. When the Pokemon anime is brought up, I usually just think to, especially the Sinnoh League, to the beginning of the 5th generation where Ash's Pikachu is easily defeated by a Snivy.
Yeah. I mean, that's because at the start of each generation, his Pikachu becomes like level 5 again.
Still.
Because they have to keep Ash as the protagonist. They couldn't just make new protagonists. That would be boring.
You can't tell dynamic stories.
Can I just say one of my favorite shots of Pokemon is at the end of not you. What's generation? What's her face? Not after 5 after Unova. What's that? X and Y. Oh yeah, I guess it was called X and Y. The one like at the end of Pokemon X and Y, where Ash, the anime series, he got kissed by somebody. Remember that? Did you know about that? Yeah, he actually got kissed in the anime by what?
Serena?
Hey, did you open this?
Was it
already?
Serena? No, it wasn't
Yes.
Serena. It was the girl. Wait, was it Serena? Red clothes, the red hat, the red like
Yeah,
hat.
that's her name, Serena.
Yeah, I guess it is Serena.
The
Yes.
only reason I
But
really
one of my
think-
favorite shots is like he gets kissed and then he's going down an escalator and then he smiles and has this weird blank look on his face and it almost looks like his mind was wiped after that. So it's like, and that was the moment when Ash's mind was wiped for the next generation.
Really?
No, not really, but like that's the because each generation of Pokemon, Ash basically reverts back to 0 as a character. So the joke is that after that, because after he gets kissed, he has like this blank smile on his face, like he just forgot everything. It's really weird. I don't know. I just cannot unsee that. It just kind of looks like he instantly forgot everything that just happened. It's very strange. I mean, it's not actually the case. It's not like he actually forgot about it in story. It just kind of looks like he did.
Okay, but then he just walked off.
What happened? Well, yeah, because he was going to the next whatever, I guess, Alola?
Yeah.
That's right. He's going to Alola, which is the only league he won outside of Orange Islands. And he placed 14th or
And Alola was
something. He placed 14th in the original Pokemon League.
And if I'm not wrong, Alola is more like just a vacation. that they went
Okay,
on,
I'm just
I think.
I'm just going off on the Pokemon anime tangent. It's probably very boring for the people watching at home. Anyways, games. That's games, video games of the fast travel variety, host topics, all that good stuff. Let's get back to that before we move.
Speaking of that, Pokemon has fast travel.
Yes, it does. It does have fast travel. Every game, actually, since the original, has had a fast travel option with Fly.
Mhm.
Which,
And it's been good, I think.
makes sense.
It's not even close to open world, so
Yeah.
I think it's been reasonable.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it makes sense in that regard because, like, Like the original Pokemon world was like a lot bigger and slightly more tedious to go through, just back traveling. And also some of the areas are not really meant to go, you're not really meant to go backwards through some of them. You know what I mean? Like some of them are designed for forward progress and not backwards progress.
Yeah.
So the fly mechanic is warranted. Anyways, but yes, fast travel. I do agree. Fast travel is a mechanic that needs to be used carefully regarding how you use it in terms of design, because if not, you risk players just fast traveling through your world and not actually caring about it. You know, like in Skyrim, for instance, like you can fast travel to basically every area you like. Like there's a carriage guy that you can pay money to go to different places, but I think you can straight up just fast travel to every location you discover in the game. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Yeah.
Which is fine, I guess. I mean,
Wait, what game?
Skyrim's overworld isn't like super interesting, but
Ah.
it would help if you didn't have that ability.
Probably.
It would probably help you actually care about the world. It would also help if anything in that world changed, but that's a different thing.
The world has been invaded by giant lizard people.
And it will continue to be even after you defeat them, because we didn't change the dialogue. Where Bethesda? We're surprised it took until Fallout 76 for people to call us out on our bullshit.
Fallout. That's the name of the game where you. Okay, Fallout. Fallout is the game I'm thinking of.
What?
I thought you were making a joke.
No, I'm not making a joke. What Fallout? What are you
No,
talking-
Devin, when he said Fallout, I thought you were making a joke earlier.
Mm-mm. No, Fallout is the game. It's not Far Cry. It's Fallout. Fallout is where you're in a nuke shelter and you wake up
Yeah.
after liberty.
Yeah, Fallout is the game series where you you start in like vaults. Fallout started as like a real-time strategy game, isometric real-time strategy game before Bethesda bought the rights to it. And starting from Fallout 3 onwards, it became the first-person shooter.
Cool.
But you know, I mean, Fallout's a fine series, even if Fallout 3 onwards, the games have been buggy as all hell because Bethesda. I don't understand. Like, Bethesda is a very strange company. You know that? I think I've had this discussion before, but wait, has Bethesda done anything relevant recently? I don't think they have. Oh yeah, they got bought by Microsoft. I forgot about that. I can't believe I forgot about that. I completely forgot that Bethesda just got bought by Microsoft recently. Huh.
It's the microchips. The Microsoft.
Yeah,
microchips.
they got bought by Microsoft, so now Microsoft owns them. I don't know what they're doing with that. I don't know. I can't believe I completely forgot about that. I have that. Like, that's in our news section as well. I'm just an idiot. Well, not that specifically, but like there's something related to it. Anyways, anything more to say on that, Devin, the host?
Nope.
Description.
That's it.
Yeah. I've yet like mostly. I was gonna say like mostly open world games have fast travel options, and that's about it. Like, I don't think there's really any games in like the single player small world variety that have fast travel options.
That's good. Unrealistic fast travel. That's the best part, I think, actually. Like, fast travel in all the games where it's really good, I feel like there's also another reason for it.
Yeah.
So like you're getting in a car, or you're getting in a cab or something, or you're teleporting using ancient technology.
Yeah.
Or you fly on a Pokemon. You're flying on a little bird.
Flying on a pigeon. You fly on a Pidgey, or you surf on a magic carp or something. You know, things. But
Or you fly on a Doduo.
mhm. Oh yeah, I forgot they could learn fly. I completely forgot about that. They're a flightless
Realism.
Pokemon. They're a flightless Pokemon and they can learn fly. I completely forgot about that.
Yep, like Doduo.
Mm-hmm. Not Dodrio though. That would.
Well, I think Dodrio can also learn
No,
fly.
I think
it
Doduo
probably-
can too.
Probably. I just
I mean, if you hold it onto him, if you keep the move when he evolves and stuff.
yeah.
No, it's really funny. It's like, ah, yes, that's realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
A flightless bird. I mean, it's not even a flightless bird. It's literally just like an ostrich with two heads.
Round heads, round fluffy heads.
Yeah. Doduo and Dodrio are weird Pokemon. They're also like
No.
really like. When's the last time anybody's ever thought of them as a Pokemon?
I had one on my team during my entire playthrough of Emerald. He was one of my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I got him to level like 70, I think. I think I still have him actually.
probably.
He was so good
Dodrio's
Sure
not
it was.
against the NPCs, not in competitive battles, but against the NPCs.
whatever.
I swear. Sorry. He's doing the whole like. You ever seen a cat silently meow at you for attention? Like
Yes.
he opens his mouth and he does the meow, but it's like completely silent and pathetic, and it's like there's nothing wrong with you. You just want attention. Just go away. You don't want food. You're fine. You just want me to go over there and pet you during my podcast, which I can't do. Anyways. BS. I think, yeah, fast traveling. It just use it wisely, you know. Just
Yeah.
use it wisely in game design.
Use it wisely, think it out. You'll be good.
Yeah. Don't be an idiot. I know that's a hard ask
Yeah.
for some people, but you know, it goes around the bend. But yeah, and Matthew, you said you didn't have a host topic,
Nope.
and I don't have one currently because I was doing stuff. So in that case, let's just move on to news. The newsy. Newsa. Anyways, first bit of news up today. So last time we talked a little bit about E3 and the Summer Games Fest done by guy, can't remember his name, but we talked a little about that. So in this, Microsoft is hosting a Xbox showcase that is happening at the same time as E3. So it's an Xbox and Bethesda. Xbox and Bethesda set June date, E3 adjacent Xbox. Yeah, they have an Xbox showcase. Games coming to Xbox. Yeah. So Xbox as well as Bethesda have like an Xbox showcase that's happening June during the same sort of time as E3. So I mean, like, I don't think, so they're hosting their own show next to E3 instead of being a part of it. So that's something. We're also only like weeks away from E3. Syncing. The first show opportunities. Was last year.
You know what they should do?
What?
They should add a paywall to E3. So you have to pay them to see the ads for the games that you're going to pay them to buy.
That That's stupid. But yeah, they're instead of being a part of E3, Xbox and Bethesda are holding their own Xbox showcase where they will, I mean, they'll be showing whatever they do. Possibly some, I mean, it's Bethesda, so possibly more some Elder Scrolls 6 or, you know, Forza, whatever they have. Oh yeah, I completely forgot. Rare is a part of Xbox as well, so there might be some more Rare stuff upcoming. Yeah, you'll be able to watch it live via Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all those places. So, I mean, if you're in the market for watching all those live streams, you have a lot of work cut out for you. There's literally like 4 or 5 different live stream events happening all during the same week. It's gonna be crazy. So, you know, you can watch it on all your, like, I don't know. It seemed, I mean, I get why. Nintendo has technically been doing this for years. When they started doing the Nintendo Direct, they haven't officially been part of E3 for a while. I think this is the first year they've officially been a part of E3 since, I don't know, 2013 or something. They've been out of E3 for a while. So Nintendo being a part of E3 is definitely interesting. It probably has something to do with the fact that it's a digital event and isn't live event at all, because Nintendo has basically just been doing digital directs and stuff, which has been their MO for the longest time. And now other companies are also jumping in on that idea, like PlayStation with its State of Play, which is basically what Nintendo does. So there's that. But yes, so in addition to Summer Game Fest and E3, Microsoft and Bethesda are doing a Xbox showcase during the same time, specifically 13th of June, which is, I mean, it's in the same week as E3, so, you know.
Wow. That is, wow.
Yeah, it'll be, kickoff at 9 a.m. PT. At, what is that? Sorry, 10 a.m. Bleh, Jesus, why can't I talk? Yeah, so 10 a.m. PT on Sunday, 13th. And it will, Microsoft is promising 90 minutes of announcements. That's an hour and a half of whatever Microsoft wants to announce. It's a lot of time, actually. That's a very long announcement stream. The panel. But yeah, obviously we don't know much about what they're doing during the live stream itself. Presumably they'll probably be I mean, they're going to be like, we can make some educated guesses as regards to what to do. So possibly some Bethesda related stuff, since it is Microsoft and Bethesda. Bethesda is their most recent acquisition, so they'll probably do something with that. They'll probably do something Rare related, like I think they have a new game in development, so they'll probably announce something like that. Psychonauts 2 has been in development for quite a while, so it might finally get an official release or release date or some more information about it. You know, all of the probably some more news on Halo, just all of that stuff. You know, stuff that people care about. Yes. And that's basically it. I just think it's fairly interesting that Xbox have chosen to forego E3 and Summer Games Fest to just do their own thing. Well, at least I think it's somewhat interesting. But yeah. Anything to say? Okay. Yes, we have a bit of more. Next bit of news is Blizzard cancels this year's BlizzCon and is planning a digital and physical event for early next year. So Blizzard usually hosts a BlizzCon every year, which is basically where they host all of their special stuff and announcements. anything Blizzard related, like WoW, Here Are the Storms, Overwatch. Oh yeah, there's usually like Overwatch competitions as well during BlizzCon, like so stuff like that. But they're canceling this year's one and are planning a digital and physical event for early next year. There's officially canceled BlizzCon. Oh yeah, I forgot they canceled last year, which makes sense. COVID was very heavy last year. It makes sense that they canceled it. Pandemic. Yeah, apparently citing the ongoing complexities and uncertainties of the pandemic. Yeah, that makes sense. Plans, energy. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, they're planning something for 2022, a global event that combines both an online show and a smaller in-person gatherings. More details will be shared on plans solidify, stuff like that. So so there's that. This isn't like overly surprising since the pandemic is still ongoing and not that many people have got vaccinated yet. And even if you have, there's the complications of whether or not people know you are. Where'd he go? Why did the camera stop? Anyways,
I just accidentally clicked it.
I see. But yes, this isn't overly surprising. Makes sense. The pandemic is still ongoing. And if they don't want to hold a digital only event, that's up to them. So yes, but I will say I'm not super, upset that BlizzCon was canceled, since let's be perfectly honest, I'm not going to say I have a vendetta against Blizzard, but I have certainly made it very clear that I don't exactly like their business practices. So, I don't really care that much that their event has been canceled. I will say this actually does. I will say this gives me an opportunity to bring up something that is basically the biggest reason I don't like Blizzard, which is, this doesn't have anything to do with, it technically has something to do with BlizzCon since this happened during a BlizzCon, but during the you remember it was so long ago at this point. Do you remember the riots that happened in China? The free Hong Kong stuff?
Oh yeah, that was like a long time ago.
I know, it was so long ago, but you remember that? So during that time, one of the I believe it was a Hearthstone player named Blitz Chung, during after he won during a live stream, he put on the face mask thing that they had and said free Hong Kong during a live stream, and because he's Chinese and makes sense, and two of the interviewer co-commenters were putting their heads down and haha, don't do anything, because it was vaguely controversial. But after he did that, Blizzard both took away, refused to give him the winnings that he would have gotten because he won. He was a winner. So he didn't get his winnings, and he also was banned for, I don't remember how long, but he was banned, as well as the two co-commentators on that stream, even though they didn't do anything. They were just there, I believe, got fired. So that's basically one of the biggest reasons I kind of hate Blizzard and Activision.
Wow.
Yeah, they basically said, we agree that the Chinese government should, what's the term? I don't remember. It sucks when you try and make a statement and then the words just don't form in your brain. Yes, that was a long time ago, though, but I haven't forgotten, and nobody should forget. They also afterwards basically put out a statement about the types of, they basically put out their ban statement a while ago that basically said they can ban anybody for any reason. There's this, I don't remember, it was they basically put out the goddamn, what is it called? the reasons that you can be banned, basically, like for whatever reason, different depending on what you're a part of and what you're in. And it basically was they can just ban you for anything if they feel like it, because it was not concrete enough. It was not very concrete. It had a lot of, not inaccuracies, but it wasn't very specific. It was a very broad term, or whatever.
Yeah. Vague.
It was very vague. Kind of like Kappa. Anyways, that's a joke from the past. It's still technically relevant, but it happened so long ago.
Yeah, it's the past. Feels like it was so long ago.
It
Oh my gosh.
was
Feels
so
like it's
long
been like
ago.
9 years.
It wasn't 9 years ago. It was like 3 years at most.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I mean, 2012 feels like it was 9 years ago. How weird is that?
It was. Oh yeah, it was 9 years ago. I was like, it wasn't 9 years ago. It wasn't 9 years ago. What are you talking about? Like, oh yeah, it is, because it's 2021.
Oh.
Yes. Anyways, eventually, after massive backlash against Blizzard, rightfully so because of their stupidity, they eventually released his ban and gave him his winnings. But those two co-commentators never got rehired so there's that. And I'm pretty sure BlitzChung just decided after that to not continue working with Blizzard. And a lot of people,
I wonder why.
A lot of people that were with Blizzard at the time also basically quit. So there's that. Anyways, that was a tangent that was very much related to Blizzard, and it was vaguely related to BlizzCon, since I think it happened during one or before one. But listen, people need to know about this. I don't care if it was so long ago. It needs to be remembered. Nobody should forget what they did. It's literally it was really bad at the time. Anyways, but yeah, BlizzCon was canceled this year, and they're planning an event for next year. So enjoy that if you will.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's basically it. I basically put that there just so I could have a platform to actually fully go into why I hate them so much. Yes. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Whoops, didn't mean to do that. I was gonna say something else. God damn it, brain. All right, let's just move on to our next bit of news in that case, because I completely forgot what I was gonna say. But yes. What?
I said, okay.
Sorry. Do you have anything to say? Do you comment on it?
It's just, I said it. I said it.
Okay. What about you, Matthew? Other than a confused why? Anyways.
I don't have any.
So yes, moving on to our next bit of news, which is kind of just it's vaguely. I need more water if I'm gonna do these. So yes, really, it's just a release date, but it's a bit of news regarding the new Pokemon games, or the remakes of Diamond and Pearl, specifically. They're arriving this November, specifically November 19th this year. And upcoming Pokemon game set in the Sinnoh region. February, or style remakes of the original Diamond and Pearl. Yeah, we know. Blah blah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's basically it. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl are set for a November 19th release. We'll probably get more information about it during E3 as well, just some general overviews of, more like they haven't released it, but we'll probably get more footage of the games at the very least during E3, during Nintendo's press conference. So that'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what else they change and what else they add, if they add anything. By the way, I'm just gonna say I don't mind the remake's art style. I don't mind it. The Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond because they're chibi art styles. You've seen them.
I have.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I get that a lot of people really dislike it, but I don't mind it. It's like a chibi art style that very much maintains. It's basically like, I mean, it's literally like the 8-bit, or not 8-bit, but like it's the same art style that Pokemon has had for years. It's just now in 3D.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
I like
I
it.
don't hate it.
I think that fits Pokemon a whole lot more than the other arts.
And also, like when you get into a battle, you get full character models anyway, so it's not that big of a deal.
Maybe we should have backgrounds also. Battle backgrounds.
I don't know, maybe. Well, yeah, that I don't mind the art style. I don't get why people were so like aggravated about it. Anyways,
Because people,
because the Pokemon fan base are the worst. That's basically the only reason that I can think of. I don't know, man. The Pokemon fan base is weird. Like a lot of their complaints are very much warranted, especially with Sword and Shield. I get it, but at the same time, it makes them look like crazy people when they complain so much about something they wanted.
what?
Listen, like I get not liking
What?
it. I understand. I don't personally dislike it. I get not liking it from a perspective, but like it makes you look like a crazy person when you go on these insane rants about something. Anyways, much like me, I've what'd you say?
Said speaking of insane rants, but then you said that also. So.
Yeah, I know. I'm an insane person according to my own logic. Yes. So yeah, the release dates for that. And now moving on to our next bit of news, which is again just basically release dates and more. So Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is actually the thing that a lot of people should be looking out for because it looks very interesting. I'm interested to see what they do. So Pokemon Legends Arceus, we have a release date for next year, January 28th, 2022. That, yeah, it was announced. Pokemon Legend Arceus is an open world Sinnoh game set in a more feudal version of the region, which is interesting. Pokedex, yeah. Setting a Pokemon Diamond, all around. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus. So we have an official release date for that. And like I said before, probably get more information about the game during E3. We'll probably actually get to see like more proper gameplay, some overview of like, I don't know, maybe the story. I get that we're like making the first ever Pokedex, but like, you know, hey, you know what? Also, this doesn't something I had thought about, which I had forgotten about. So in Sinnoh, in the Sinnoh region, in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, there, if you go into the library and read some of the books, it talks about how apparently in the Pokemon universe, this is like, I think, I don't remember if they censored in the American or the English version or not, but like it describes how relationships between Pokemon and humans was a common thing, like romantic relationships. Like there are stories apparently like people marrying their Pokemon. I'm not like, it's a thing. It's a thing in the, you can look it up if you feel it was described, but like,
I've heard of it.
I mean, they're not gonna do that since it's a feudal version of Sinnoh, but you never know. You never know. It's part of the lore.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know. It probably, like gameplay wise, it wouldn't change very much.
No, probably not.
You know,
It'd be
but like
weird detail just to what the.
yeah, it's just in the game in one of the books in the library if you just read out of it, because it talks about the history of Sinnoh, and apparently it was fairly common back in the day to just have romantic relations with Pokemon. So there's a thing. Where that stops, I have literally no idea because it doesn't give you more information. Anyways, yeah. I need to stop saying It's literally my default, like, you know, middle thinking word. But Pokemon Legends Arceus. Get more information during E3. And I don't know. I'm very interested in this game. I'm very interested to see what they do and where they're going with it. You know?
Same. I'm very curious.
Yeah. I'm very, very interested to see where they go with this at all. Also, it's called Legends Arceus, so we might get some more lore about Arceus himself.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
considering,
Did he
like,
create Mew? That's the question.
I mean, according to the
Mew
lore of
contains the
Pokemon,
DNA to all
Arceus
Pokemon.
is literally God of the Pokemon world that you can capture. You can capture him because Pokemon, like he
You could
literally
also capture
created
the devil.
everything. That's the thing. He literally created everything. That's his whole thing. Like he created everything. There's a Pokemon of time and space, and then there's a Pokemon of Dialga, not Dialga. What's his name?
Giratina?
Yeah, Giratina is essentially Satan. The
You can
devil.
capture him too.
He's locked in what is essentially Pokemon Hell, the inverse world or whatever it's called.
I can see that.
It makes complete sense that a 10-year-old child. Wait, I think you're 11 in the games. That an 11-year-old child.
I mean,
Can just
according
throw a
to
Pokeball at
Sun and
someone and
Sun
catch
and
them.
Moon, my player character is 12 years old. Just saying. Because at one point, one of the characters asks what your age is, and you tell him.
All right. So basically, what the games is saying is that even if, at least in the Pokemon universe, God created everything, including the method to capture it.
Well,
no, including allowing there to
humans
be a way to
created the
do.
Pokeballs, though. Just because, listen, it's not God's fault that the humans somehow figured out a way to capture him.
He created this species that was so similar to him, other Pokemon, that it allows him to be captured by the same device.
I don't know, man. Pokemon lore's weird. I don't want to
Doesn't make
delve
any
into it. It's
sense.
really weird.
It'd be fun if it was like a realistic Pokemon game.
Pretty sure it also has at least like 3 different God Pokemon.
Wait, it'd be
What?
so cool. Make a Pokemon game where everything is realistic, including all the other nonsense. So like your character couldn't use like flamethrower on houses and burn them down, or like on the bushes.
Yeah.
Or like your character bumps into a bush, it like literally just text comes up and says, you see a bush in front of you, but you just
oh no, a tiny bush.
yeah, oh no, tiny bush. Wait, and then it just shows you like stomping on it or something.
Yeah. Better. I don't have cut in this party. Gotta fly back to town and get someone who does.
Because I can't just push the bush aside.
Yeah.
Or walk around it.
Ridiculous. But yes.
Or slide
anyways,
down the clearly there, not very high ledge.
we talked about Pokemon a lot during this podcast. I just noticed. We talked about Pokemon a lot. I was not expecting that. Not expecting that. But yes, Pokemon Legends Arceus. It's a game. I'm interested to see where it goes, and I'm interested for whatever information we gain outside of its release date of June next year. Sorry, January 28th. Yeah. Anything else to go for before we go to our last bit of news? All right.
Yeah.
Moving on to our last bit of news of the day, which is, I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's sad in a it's sad in the like kicking a horse kind of way. Like, so Cyberpunk 2077 gets a new game director. Now that might sound odd to you since the game has already been out for several months.
Oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I hope that doesn't knock up. Sorry. There's a car that, sorry for this random tangent, but there's a car that blasts music so loud it shakes my house that goes by every now and then. And last time it went by, my computer shut off, so I thought it might have had something to do with that. I was very scared for a second.
To be fair, I didn't even hear it. So
yeah, you don't hear it. It's just a sound wave that shakes the house. It's not going to pick up on the mic. Anyways,
Okay.
anyways, yes. So Cyberpunk 2077 gets a new game director 6 months or so after its launch, which is I think what you might call that is rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. You know, something along those lines. It's really just like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh my goodness, I don't even know, like, what are they going to be in? Like, the game is out. I get that there's like a bajillion more patches that need to be made before the game is even in alpha state, and there's DLC that's incoming, I guess. Oh yeah, so I will say, like, so Cyberpunk 27 has a new game director, and its former creative director Gabriel Amontegalo joined. For game director, according to focus on the leadership duties within CD Projekt. Okay, so the original game director will now focus on leadership duties within CD Projekt Red, including the company's new strategic development framework and Witcher brands. Oh yeah, that's right, that happened. The new game director has worked on DLCs for Dragon Age Inquisition. He also worked as design director on Dragon Age Inquisition DLC and lead designer on several expansions for Star Wars: The Old Republic. Indicates that we should receive available DLCs for the game over the next year. Okay, so basically, they got rid of the other guy. They put him in charge of basically like leadership duties, and then said, here's this flaming carcass, see what you can do with it. Which is, yeah, the game's already seen several patches to performance on the last 10 consoles. More work needs to be done. So yeah, I just whoopsies. Didn't mean to click that. Yeah, so I mean, what else is there to say? CD Projekt Red is digging a grave for itself. Like, it's okay. It's not digging a grave, but what it is doing is essentially digging a hole and then digging another hole and putting the dirt from the second hole in the other hole. So it's never actually making progress on whatever it's doing. It's like, we're on a sinking ship and you're trying to tie bow knots so the sails don't fly off. Like, what are you doing? I can come up with more analogies.
Yeah, they're wow. I guess it's a sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah. They got a Persian cat and they're trying to like shave the hair off of it. And it's like, how is that? That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. Maybe there's 1 or 2 hairs on a Persian cat, but probably not very much. Also, I'm just going to say hairless cat. I don't remember if Persian is that particular breed or not, but that's what came to my mind.
Okay.
Yes, and I mean, I get that neither of you really follow the whole CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk 2070, whatever I just said thing. But yeah, this is just like, it's a sad state of affairs when 6 months after a game's release, you got a new game director. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just a sad state of affairs. Yeah. I'm gonna say one more thing. Cyberpunk 2077 has basically become the how you don't handle a project. This is the standard. Like, this is what you show in classes. Like 30 years from now, this will be shown in classes. Like, okay, class, 30 years ago, this game development studio were massive idiots and they handled this project terribly. Watch it unfold live for you. This is how you don't handle a project. You know, it's just, I literally, you know, and it's weird because it's like, It's funny how things just keep happening to Cyberpunk 2077. It's like the game is 6 months old. You just suspect that the train wreck would have stopped at some point. It hasn't, though. It's a train wreck that is somehow glued to the tracks, and it's just going to keep going.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, that was our last bit of news for the day. And you know, the gaming industry is a massive pile of forgotten Lego bricks at the side of the road that, you know, whenever you try and pick them up and build something with them, you realize that they're all the wrong colors and shapes to build anything meaningful. So, you know, there's that. I don't know. That was a very strange metaphor. Out of water. Okay, so yeah, anything else to say before we just move on to Shameless Self-Promotion? Okay, so yes, that was the last bit of news for today. Moving on to Shameless Self-Promotion. I talk too fast. Moving on to Shameless Self-Promotion, the part of the show where we shamelessly self-promote ourselves. Specifically what we're doing and what we are going to be doing and where you can find us and what popcorn you can eat at night or whatever you want to do. I don't know. So yeah, Matthew, what have you got coming up this week and where can people find you?
Editing audio is taking a long time. It turns
You
out.
don't say.
So I don't have anything coming up this week probably, but you can find me at Mystical Meanderings on YouTube and Twitch.
All right. And technically Twitter, but we don't go there.
No, it meant
Any videos coming up or just, I know you said editing is taking a long time, but like, you know, anything in particular that your audience should be excited for?
I don't know if I'll have the thing done.
All right, that's fine. Something is coming. Yes. All right then. So, Devin. Sorry. The hell did that? What? Devin, what have you been doing this week, or not doing this week? What have you been playing? Not playing. I'm a train wreck. What do you have coming up this week, and where can people find you? That's what I was trying to say. Jesus.
I have nothing coming up this week because I'm nothing. I'm void. Pointless nothing.
Really?
Oh, yeah, no, I have a video up on Evan Hart called Why I Don't Do Drugs, Drink, or Smoke, and it's pretty good.
Uh-huh.
I'm not just like satisfied with that, I'm like extremely happy with it, to the point where it is the only thing making me happy. To the point where I'm very sad because I can't do that again because I don't know how I did that in the first place, and it's just so good.
Well, you should probably just do.
I should do something. I want to mess around with my green screen. I think I'll do that one.
What'd you say?
I want to mess around with my green screen, so I think I'll do that because I made a video the other day, but I made it outside, and the audio is so bad. So it's like I'm talking, and then it's like talk.
You could probably edit that out. Just find the wind frequency.
Yeah, or dub over it.
I guess you
I
could
was
do that.
saying. You said audio would be fine.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. Did we just have Jar Jar Binks for a second?
What?
I'm sorry, but I swear I heard you say Yusa.
No, I said you said it would be fine.
I'm almost certain you said Yusa. Yusa think your videos be good. Yusa right. Whatever he says, I don't know. Jar Jar, I haven't thought about Jar Jar Binks in a while. Probably a good reason for that. Yeah, so and people can find you
at Deliat Z or Defmafu Gaming.
or Blake.
Or so I've been reading Encyclopedia.
Or Plankton.
Yeah, that too.
Or Blingdon. I can't log into Blingdon anymore. I lost the email that's associated with that account.
How do you do that?
by being me.
I don't. Okay. What I was gonna say is that you just shouldn't be concerned with how you did something. You just need to continue to do it.
Like losing account information.
Well, not that, but you know what I mean. It's
Yeah,
like
or
when you become concerned with how you did something, you suddenly have a mindset of trying to recreate it, which you can never
Yeah.
do because sometimes lightning in a bottle is just what it is. And so instead of being focused on trying to recreate something that you can't, you just need to continue doing, you just need to continue. You don't worry about how you did it, you just continue doing.
yeah, but what if I can't
What?
What if I never do it again? What if my biggest grossing video, the end of my life, I'm 80 years old, and my most viewed video is 260 views?
That would be rather
And a video
impressive.
I made 60 years ago.
I think in order for that to happen, you would literally just have to stop making things, period.
And YouTube
Yeah,
has to be around for 60 years.
60 years from now, you will upload a video to YouTube and be like, 50 years ago, I made this video and it was the best thing I ever did.
It's haunted my entire life.
It haunted my
Unplugged.
entire life because all I you tell your grandkids about it like it's some kind of scary campfire story. Kids, don't get held up in this life, I tell you.
Kids, don't make anything good or it'll haunt you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Don't do anything bad or it'll all haunt you for the rest of your life too.
Now remember, kids, if you
Then-
touch the fire, it's bad for you. But if you don't touch the fire, it's also bad for you. So just don't do anything.
But if you don't touch the fire, you won't learn how hot it is. You won't
Exactly.
learn not to touch it.
These
Remember-
strange roundabout lessons that are just that just like don't work.
Then
know
the
what?
kid,
You know what, kids? I think it's best if you just don't do anything. And the kids are just like, Grandpa, untie us from the tree. We need to go inside bed.
I can't do that, Sonnies. I can't do that, Sonnies. If you will get untied from that tree, then it's going to be cut down. I need you to be the sacrifice that'll keep it in place.
It's the last tree on earth.
It's the last tree on earth, I tell you.
Hey,
I don't know
if
why I
if
sound
I'm
like an old timey
listening-
cowboy, but that's just where it be. Old people sound
Yeah.
like cowboys from the 1800s.
I develop a cowboy accent.
Yeah. Somehow
We
you
just go to
develop
Aaron's
a
house. Like, yeah, we go to Aaron's house and Aaron is like, bonjour.
Bonjour, I am French Aaron. I have many things. I spent 2 weeks abroad in France and now I sound like this. It is fantastic. Bonjour. I watched Beauty and the Beast 500 times and I can no longer I sound like this because of that candle French man. I just kept repeating what he was saying. It was great. Anyway, what the hell is going on? So yeah, that's what you have coming up, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I have coming up.
You have a project of
insanity.
some
Got it.
description that will appear
Yeah.
when it does.
Okay, how's this? I have a project called 3 Jokes. And it'll be 3 jokes-ish. Jokes.
Anti-jokes.
No, there'll be jokes.
Okay. Jokes, jokes.
You know.
Those things that make you laugh.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, those things, those things. The laughy things. I know they were outlawed 80 years ago, but you should know them.
Oh,
I'm making a joke. I was referring back to the.
what?
Never mind.
Alcohol?
It's not a real thing. I was making a joke referring back to the 80 years in the future thing that we were talking about before.
yeah.
Oh, but that wasn't 80 years in the future. It's 60
That's
years
60.
in the future. 60 years. in the
Whatever.
I still got it.
Whatever, man. Anyway.
Can't you turn into a Western in 60 years?
I mean, 80 years
Whatever,
in
my
the future,
sonny
too,
boy.
I'd be 100. I would much prefer to go 80 years in the
That's
future
true.
and be like, I am lived to be 100. Hmm.
You want to mix the Yes. Anyways, that was a tangent that was very interesting, I'm sure.
Yeah,
So that's what you have coming up.
that's what I have coming up.
All right, cool. Good to know.
I'm
Me,
gonna record
I
it right
guess.
now.
Me, I guess now. I don't know how to go. I don't know where to go. I'm just gonna do me now. Devin's gone. Pretend you can't see that little part of him. Just pretend you can't see his stripy shirt in his ear. Just pretend he's gone. Don't worry about it. See, look, he's gone. You can't see him, therefore he is gone. Anyways, yes, me. What do I have coming up this week? Well, thank you for asking me. As always, oh, look, he's gone. Oh, he's turned into Matthew. There's 2 Matthews now. Oh my goodness, he's back. It's crazy. There's 2 Matthews. Oh, he's truly gone this time. You should probably come back for the ending, but that's fine. All right. So yes, like I was saying, I will continue. The podcast will continue to be uploaded every week. That is a constant that I will never stop doing. As I've mentioned several times, I have some video plans in the works and such, but I just need to write those up. And listen, I don't have an excuse for why I haven't done it. You're just going to have to accept that I haven't. That's really the only thing I have. Excuse me.
I could come help you out.
Yeah, you could, I suppose.
I know.
Then-
I know what I'm doing. I've at least done it.
That's true. Yes, other than the videos that I have in my head and not on paper, that's about it. You can find me here and nowhere else. Don't look for me elsewhere. I'm not anywhere else. Except for Twitter, where I don't post anything because I don't use Twitter. I have a Twitter account called at Gaming the Discussion, where you can find it at gaming and the discussion. And I'll post when the video goes up and basically nothing else. I'll retweet some articles that I think are interesting. Oh yeah, I retweeted, you might have seen this, I retweeted Devolver Digital was vaguely making fun of the new Cruella de Vil movie. And I retweeted that because I thought it was funny. Have you heard of and I know this is weird, but like, have you seen the new Cruella, the new movie? That's like an origin story for Cruella de Vil, but it's also like a not related. It's really bad. Like, okay.
I have seen people making fun of it, and I didn't actually think it was a real thing.
Have you seen the scene where Corella's mom is killed? That's all that matters. It's so bad. It's so dumb. Like, it's it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Corella's mom was killed by Dalmatians. But not how you think. They just drop kick her off a cliff.
What?
3 Dalmatians drop kick a human being off a cliff.
Is
I'm
this
not even
animated?
making a joke. That's just what happens.
And this isn't animated? Or it is
No,
animated?
it's live action. It looks like CGI from the 90s. It's terrible. It looks awful. It's so dumb. The music in the background sounds like they forgot to close the window when a plane was going over. And it has like this, it's like this weird funk beat that has like the sound of an airplane going over a studio. It's so weird. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Like, it's not even so terrible it's funny. It's so terrible that it's actually really, really bad. Like, it went so far past the scale of being funny back to being just so ungodly dumb. It's so dumb. Anyways, it also is another film in the long line of Disney live action remake prequel things where they take characters and not. Also, Cruella's reaction. Oh, that's the other thing. Cruella's mom like stands there with no expression on her face as 3 Dalmatians run towards her. She's just like, and then dies by falling off a cliff into the ocean.
How do I look this up?
I think the movie's just called Cruella.
Yeah, I found a song.
I mean, if you go to my Twitter account, at gaming the discussion, you can find that retweet I did to see the scene I'm talking about. But it's so dumb. Also, apparently, okay, so there were a lot of people making jokes about how, so this is how they try and make her sympathetic because her goal was to skin puppies and make a coat out of them, if you remember the original animated scene. But apparently, they just didn't make her a villain at all, apparently. Apparently, at the twist of the ending is that she's just not a villain, and she takes in puppies. I don't even, like... I don't get why they needed to make this. They needed to make it because money. Anyways, sorry about
not
that.
a villain by the end.
What?
If she's not a villain by the end, then how does the later movie happen?
Disney doesn't even own the original works of 100 Dalmatians, even the Disney original. The animated thing is based on the books. The books. Anyways. Yeah, this is a shameless self-promotion. I don't know if you remember. It's so dumb. So dumb.
What did I just watch?
It's so dumb. Did you hear the music playing in the background?
No, I had it muted and then it unmuted itself.
It's so dumb.
After.
Anyway, sorry. That was a tangent that I did not expect to go on, but yes, same channel. You can find me on Twitter at gaming discussion, where I'll retweet stuff like that if I think it's interesting or funny, and I'll post when the episode goes live, but that's about it, because otherwise I don't really use Twitter. And then videos on YouTube. Sorry, I post, this podcast goes on SoundCloud and Twitter. It's GTD podcast on SoundCloud, gaming discussion on YouTube. I said Twitter, I meant YouTube. You can find it on both of those places and stuff like that. Anyways, yes. And that's the end of Shameless Self-Promotion, because I went off on a tangent about Cruella. Anyways, sorry about that. But yes, thank you all so much for watching this episode of the GTD podcast. Do the things that make the video goes up or down or whatever. No,
don't let it go down.
Don't let it go down. Yeah, some people think it's really important to remind the viewer to like, comment, and subscribe at the end of each video, but I wouldn't do that. I'd never do that.
Did you know
they have to do it at the beginning?
5% of our viewers are subscribed.
Wow, that's a statistic. Sorry.
It'd be so cool. Print out the actual graphic and then just hold it up and just have it as a prop.
Print out my analytics and then just keep it in the background. And it's like, as you can see, my analytics are not very high. You can change that though, my good friend, because that's the way to really get them. You got to start revering them friends or people that are close to you in order to gain a personality. Whatever. That was a tangent that went nowhere. Anyways, yeah, I would never ask anybody to like, comment, and subscribe. I would never do that. Never do that.
No,
I would never, at the end of a video, ask them to like, comment, and subscribe so they don't miss an upload and so they don't miss, whatever. I would never tell them to do that. I would never tell them to, share the video with their friends. I would never tell them to do that. Anyways, I keep meaning to ask Twitch. Okay. Sorry. That was bad. That completely destroyed the flow of this ending. Anyways, but yes, thank you all so much for watching. Tune in next week for whatever we do. I don't know. But yeah, see you all around later.
Nah.
Bada bing, bada boom.